My very first visit to school, the children were using clay and I wanted to make something out of clay. I was lucky to have that in my education. I did a GCSE in pottery. I did it for A-level, foundation, degree, masters. So it's just part of who I am, I think. I've trained as a thrower, always used the wheel. Started to struggle physically with my back and I started playing around with slip casting, joined with throwing work. When I started playing with it in combination with throwing, it opened up a whole avenue of creativity that I just hadn't really considered before. And now I really love it. I find it really liberating. I could be more creative with the shapes and still use the wheel to design my work. I can then take a cast, make a mould of it and slip cast to my heart's content. As a ceramicist, you've got to enjoy problem solving. If you don't enjoy problem solving, you might as well give up because that's what you constantly face. I enjoy that side of things, just working stuff out and thinking of new ways of doing it. And you never know, from stuff that goes wrong, you're more likely to find something new or something exciting. I was looking at utilitarian ware, Tudor pottery, stuff that was made to be used and thrown away and disposed of. So I was using terracotta clay, making pancheons, and then dipping them in the white slip. I started from a very traditional kind of standpoint, and there's just something really nice about the way the slip sits on the clay. You know, you start throwing it around and dripping it and wheels spinning and you kind of pour a bit on and it drips down. And it was that constant questioning of there are lots of amazing ceramicists that work in that tradition, but who am I? And it was about finding myself within that tradition. And that's where I kind of changed from using the white slip to finding this rubber solution that I could use in the same way. The rubber's been the thing that I've enjoyed the most because it's flexible, because you get the bright colours. As a kind of contrast to the type of ceramic I was looking at, the kind of Tudor pottery, you know, what would represent the 21st century, what makes it really modern, and putting those two things together. There's also a little bit of, you know, you can't do that. I like to push and find out what the limits are of the material. I've been using the rubber solution for quite a while and just playing with what it could do and dripping it onto work. But then to transfer that into a functional object that can be washed up and take a bit of a beating, it needed to be something else. Did quite a lot of research into ceramic transfers and decals. I came across a company in Stoke who were just brilliant, really open to my strange ideas. I didn't want to create the artwork on the computer, so I produced some more drips using the rubber solution and just put them straight into the scanner. So they're screen print transfers, which gives you that kind of intense colour. People talk about my work and say it's not really transgressive, it's just a bit naughty. It's a little bit like making a beautiful thing and chucking paint on it using rubber, which is somehow not allowed. And I think out of those conversations that have happened, I think a little bit of me just felt like they'd bite me. The things that I want to say myself but struggle with, I can kind of do it through my artwork. I get that bit of cheekiness and it brings a smile to people's faces, which is a really nice feeling. I think I'm very lucky that I'm able to create stuff that people want to buy, particularly now moving into tableware. I enjoy the fact that I'm just the kind of custodian of the work for actually probably the briefest amount of time compared to whoever ends up with it. It wasn't deliberate with the neon, I just discovered this plasti dip liquid rubber, so I had to see what I could do with them. I was lucky that I kind of hit a trend, but it wasn't deliberate, and they've been really, really popular because they're just bright and fun and happy colours. I think in some ways it's nice for me that my work can shout in a way that I personally don't feel that I can. It's hard to do something innovative. You want to be out there and pushing things and doing something different, but then you have to rein it in for something that is going to be viable. But if you're doing something innovative, no one's done it before, it's not been tested, so you don't really know until it goes wrong, you know, what its limits are. On the one hand, that's really exciting, but on the other hand, it's quite stressful and quite challenging. But that's how you make new work.